Hey again everybody, it's Nicole here with another video for Disney planning and going to Disney World and everything. So the first thing that a lot of people are going to ask when they're booking a Disney vacation is, where do I start? And that's a good question. So the first thing that I think that everybody needs to think about when planning a Disney vacation is, what is your budget? This matters so much because there's a huge price range when it comes to planning a Disney vacation. Everything from your hotel, the tickets that you buy, transportation, what are you going to eat, your spending money. This all matters, and it's all pretty expensive because it's Disney World. So you're going to want to make sure that you know your budget, stick to it the best that you can, and go from there. So the next thing that you're going to want to think about is, when do you want to go? And I think this is really important because prices can change depending on what season that you're going to Disney World. For example, if you're going to go at Christmas time or spring break, those prices are going to be a little bit higher than they would if you were to go during the off season, such as January. I noticed that September is a little bit cheaper, which is nice because that's when my birthday is. Another thing that you're going to want to think about when choosing when to go to Disney World is there a special event going on at the time that you want to go, or is there a special event that you want to go to specifically? Some events that you're going to want to think about when picking when to go are Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, Epcot Food and Wine Festival, Epcot Festival of the Arts. So if you want to go to some of these events, they're only going on at certain parts of the year. So you're going to have to go during those seasons, of course. So the next big decision that you're going to have to make is, do you want to stay on property or off property? There's definitely benefits to both. Some of the benefits for staying off property are that you might save some money because you could stay at a hotel or resort that is like $50, $70, $90 a night, and then drive to Disney. So you're still going to be in very close vicinity. There's hundreds and hundreds of hotels right there by Disney World, but you won't be necessarily on property. Another benefit to staying off property is going to be that you're kind of going to have a lot more freedom on what you can do. So if you want to go down to Florida and be in Orlando, but you don't want to go to Disney every single day, you can do a lot of other things. There's so many other things to do, like Universal Studios, SeaWorld. There's tons of shopping and things like that to do, like typical vacation things. So staying off property is going to have you a little bit closer to those other things as well. Now, some of the benefits to staying on property would be, number one, the convenience. The convenience of just being there submerged in Disney World. If you are going to Florida for a Disney vacation, staying on property is, in my opinion, your best bet. You're going to be right there in the magic, in the middle of everything, and it's just going to be so convenient for you. Some of the things that you won't have to worry about for staying in a Disney resort is going to be transportation. There's free buses, boats, and all of that to go everywhere. So you won't need to rent a car. You won't need to worry about getting yourself to and from everywhere you want to go. Of course, there's always an option of like getting an Uber or things like that, but they always have free buses to and from the parks. You can go to and from other resorts. There's the Skyliner that's new, that connects a couple of the resorts and a couple of the parks together. So staying on property gets you that benefit of not having to be your own transportation anywhere. Another benefit to staying on property is you can package up your entire resort stay as one like package deal. So you could get your resort stay, your tickets, your dining plan if you choose to do so, all together and pay for it as one. And sometimes you can find discounts for this on the Disney website or things like that. So that's kind of more convenient as well. The last reason that I personally recommend staying on Disney property is because it just makes the whole trip so much more magical. You never leave Disney. So when you're coming from the parks to your resort to the restaurant to Disney Springs, it's all just submerged in that Disney magic. And it just, in my opinion, makes for a more cohesive, magical Disney trip than if I were to be going on and off Disney property every day. And now, of course, you are going to have to think that staying on Disney property might be a little bit more expensive, but if you can afford that in your budget, that's something that I personally recommend you don't pass up. I would definitely choose to stay in a Disney resort if I can. The next thing that you're going to want to decide when you're booking your vacation is, do you want to use a travel agent or do you want to do it yourself? So if you use a travel agent, they're going to pretty much help you do everything. They're going to help you find a hotel that fits your needs, your budget. They're going to help you book your fast passes. They're going to help you book dining. They're going to help you do some research and figure out where you want to dine. I think that using a travel agent is really good for people who are going to Disney for the first time, because it can be very overwhelming. And all of these things, like, what is a fast pass? What is booking a dining reservation? Why can't I just walk up and eat somewhere? You can, but some people might not know that. And using a travel agent is going to really help people understand what they need to do, what the timeline is, and they're going to make sure that you kind of have all your T's crossed and all that when it comes to going on your trip. Because the worst thing that could happen is you get to Disney World and stuff that you needed to have done isn't done because you just didn't know. So having a travel agent is going to kind of help assist you in all of that, and you won't have to worry about, did I miss something? Because it's their job to make sure you don't miss something. Travel agents can also help you find better discounts and get you the best deal. They have access to so much information that just might not be available for people like you and me that are just Googling. So it's going to be a little bit easier for them to help you find a discount. And this is great if you're on a pretty tight budget. And it's honestly even great if you're not on a budget, because even if you had $1 billion to spend, who doesn't like to save a little bit of money, right? So having a travel agent, they're going to help you find discounts. They're going to monitor your discounts. So even if you book a vacation, it costs $2,000. If a discount comes up and they can save you like $300 from what you originally booked, they're going to help you save that, and they're going to switch that reservation for you and get you that money back. So that's a very, very, very helpful thing to have when using a travel agent. The last thing that I think is a real good benefit about using a travel agent is they're usually really passionate about helping you have a great time at Disney. They aren't usually there to be like, I just want you to go to Disney so I can make money. They are usually people like me who love Disney World, want people to experience Disney World to the fullest, and they're going to help you do that. And the best part is that you don't pay the travel agent. It is not an extra cost to use a travel agent. They get paid commissions from Disney or from the travel agency that they work for, not from you. So it's not going to be an additional charge to use a travel agent to book this vacation for you. And that's the best part. You have all this help with no extra money spent. Now, some of the benefits to booking on your own, in my opinion, would be that you're in complete control of everything. You can do your own research, figure things out for yourself. You don't have somebody suggesting things for you in terms of being like pushy or like, do this, you know what I mean? You can kind of choose everything for yourself. And some people don't like that, but I personally do. I think it's really fun to book a Disney vacation. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I will go on the computer when I'm bored and I will just book a Disney vacation on their website and then click out of the website. I'm not kidding, I do that. So I think it's fun, and it's a good way to research and find all the restaurants, all of the fast passes, and all of that stuff. And I think it gets you really excited to actually go, because you're doing all of this work and you're like, I can't wait until this all pays off. I also think that it's pretty easy to navigate the website. When you go to, I think it's disneyparks.disney.go.com or something like that. I'll put it there so that you know. But you go to the website and you just put in the days you want to go, how many people are going, and it'll bring up a bunch of different resorts for you to pick from. And it pretty much just walks you through it. And there's also people on the website that you can kind of like chat with that will help you decide what you need or what you want. So it's really not that hard to book it yourself either. But of course, if it's your first time and you have no idea what's going on, the travel agent might still be for you. So the next thing that you're going to want to figure out is, how long do you want to stay in Disney World? And this matters a little bit more than just a budget price kind of thing. This matters because there's a lot to do in Disney World, and sometimes you can get overwhelmed by doing everything, especially if it's your first time. You can get really overwhelmed saying, you know, I want to ride all the big rides, I want to eat at all these places, I want to watch all these shows and do all these attractions, and it can become a lot and it's tiring. You're going to want to figure out how long you want to stay, and a big part of that is going to be how many park tickets you want. A good example of this is going to be, say you're staying in Disney World for 7 nights, which gives you 6 full days to roam around and do whatever you want. Do you want to get 6 park tickets and be in the parks all day, every day? Or do you want to have a resort day in between where you just kind of chill and hang out and take a break? And then another thing that you need to keep in mind is, do you want a park hopper? And what a park hopper is it basically gives you the freedom to go to every park in one day. On a normal ticket, if you go to Magic Kingdom on Monday morning, you can only go to Magic Kingdom that day. You can't bounce around and be like, oh, I don't want to be here, let's go to Animal Kingdom. You can't do that on a regular ticket, but if you have a park hopper, you can. And for a lot of people, this is going to be beneficial because if you get through all the stuff you want to do in one day, you can go to another park. Or if you're in Epcot and it's Food and Wine Festival and the place is packed and you have to wait in like 40-minute lines to get a snack at one of the booths, you can go to a different park that day and come back a different day. So the park hopper kind of makes it really flexible. I think it's a really good idea to have resort or break days in between your park days because it gives you a chance to relax, recharge, and be ready to go back into the parks after that resort day. And of course, just because it's a resort or a break day, it doesn't mean that you have to sit in your room and do nothing all day. You can go resort hopping. So you can go and check out some of the other resorts. You can eat at the restaurants in the other resorts. That's totally an option. You don't have to be staying at the Grand Floridian to eat in the restaurants that they have there. I feel like a lot of people don't think about the fact that there's so many fun things to do outside of the parks, like going to resorts, going to Disney Springs, and there's so many good restaurants at those places. So if you're a foodie, you're gonna want to leave time for that because they have amazing, amazing restaurants inside and outside of the parks. Another thing that you're going to want to think about is your dining. What are you going to eat? Where are you going to eat? What kind of food do you want? It seems like a lot of people kind of know nowadays, but there's a lot of people who still think that there's just theme park or carnival type food in Disney World, and that's just not true. Of course, you can find your burgers, your hot dogs, your chicken fingers and stuff like that. Those are totally in every park, but there are so many good quick service and table service restaurants that you can go to that have amazing food and themed food. So this leads to the question of, are you going to get a dining plan with your Disney package or not? And this is something that I'm going to make another video about because there's so much information that you could have when it comes to a dining plan. Like, is it worth the money? What can I get on the dining plan? Where can I eat on the dining plan? So I'm going to save that for another video because it's a whole thing. But do you want to basically prepay for your food, or do you want to save money and take it and pay as you go? This is going to be a big option because it does cost a certain amount per person per night on that dining plan. And some people think that it's crazy to just kind of drop that money on the food when they don't know what they're going to eat yet. Another thing that you have to think about if you're getting a dining plan is booking dining reservations. So if you have a dining plan, the dining reservation booking window opens up for you 180 days before your vacation, which is a long time. That's like, oh my gosh, that's like 6 months. That's really long. But for real, if you're gonna book dining reservations, you have to think about that really far in advance, and that takes a lot of planning and a lot of research, and you're going to want to figure out where you want to eat and what days you want to eat. So this is all stuff that you have to keep in mind if you're getting that dining plan. And are you going to have quick service or table service? So are you going to have food at a place where you just walk up and order and then take your food? Or are you going to want to go to restaurants that you sit down and you're served by a waiter or waitress? So these are all things that you have to include in your budget, of course, and make the decision of what you think is best for you. So the next step is going to be your fast passes. And this is something that I feel like a lot of people get kind of confused about because fast passes at Disney are available to everybody. You don't have to pay for them. You don't have to be some type of special member to anything. You just have to be going to Disney World to get fast passes. This is going to be another thing that I'm going to make a video about, is kind of like fast pass and the tier systems and how to book and what to book and stuff like that. So I'm not going to get too in depth, but fast passes are a big deal, and it's something that you're going to want to book as soon as possible when that window opens. So booking fast passes is going to be really important when it comes to planning your Disney trip because this will also be part of your daily itinerary as well as the dining. You know, you're going to have to figure out what park you want to go to on which day, and that will be the park that you book your fast passes for. So the last thing that you're going to want to think about when it comes to going to Disney World is your transportation. Things like airfare. Are you going to drive? Are you going to fly in a plane? Things like that. So if you fly down to Disney World, you can fly into Orlando International Airport. And what's going to happen is you sign up online and a bus called the Magical Express is going to take you and your luggage to your hotel for free. For free. And what they're going to do is they're going to give you some tags. You put them on your luggage. They'll pick you up. They'll pick up your luggage. They'll bring your luggage to you to your hotel room for free at some point throughout the day. And it's just really nice and easy to just fly in and not have to worry about how am I going to get to the hotel? What if my luggage gets lost? Things like that, because they kind of take care of all of that for you. Another thing that you want to think about is renting a car. Are you going to rent a car to drive around on your own, or are you going to take those resort buses to and from all of the parks? Of course, like I said, there are buses that can take you everywhere, so you have that option. You can rent Ubers and things like that to take you like to and from parks and other resorts. So renting a car might not be the best option for you, but if you want the freedom of being able to go wherever you want, whenever you want, then renting a car might be in your best interest. All right, so that's about all I have in terms of the basic information that you need to start booking your Disney vacation. I hope that this information was helpful and it didn't confuse you more. Little disclaimer here, I am not an expert. I have no training in booking Disney vacations other than booking them for myself. This is all stuff that I've learned on my own and through my own experiences and doing research and watching videos like these. So please take everything I say with a grain of salt. This is just stuff that I've found helpful and stuff that I think that people should know or should do when booking a Disney vacation. All right, if you liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel and ring that little bell so that you get a notification every single time I upload a video. In the comments, go ahead and tell me when was the last time that you were in Disney World, or when is the next time you will be in Disney World. If you have a trip planned, go ahead and let me know when it is. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing time at your next Disney vacation. Bye.